Have you ever stood in front of the mirror and thought, why doesn't this feel like me anymore? Not because the color was wrong or the cut was off, but because something about the outfit whispered trying too hard, instead of, I've arrived. As we gracefully enter our 60s and beyond, the fashion world often tries to hand us two extremes, dull and dated or flashy and loud. But here's the truth no one talks about enough. You've earned the right to shine, not to shrink into beige, not to disappear behind muted prints or boxy cuts that do nothing for your spirit. You deserve elegance that feels effortless. You deserve style that feels like self-respect. And guess what? You don't need to spend thousands to look like you stepped out of an Aspen summer estate. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 10 of the hottest summer dresses of 2025. Each one hand-picked to give you that expensive look without breaking the bank. Whether you're headed to brunch, a beach weekend, or simply want to feel put together in your own living room, these are the pieces that whisper old money charm while keeping your wallet happy. So grab your iced tea, settle into your favorite chair, and let's step into a world where style doesn't ask for your age, only your confidence. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave a comment below about what expensive style means to you. I read every single one. Let's make this a conversation, not a lecture. Shall we begin? The white linen shirt dress. There's something quietly powerful about white linen. It doesn't beg for attention. It doesn't compete with the room. It simply exists, calm, breathable, and timeless. Much like the kind of confidence we cultivate over a lifetime. It doesn't need sparkle. It doesn't need to shout. It just needs to feel right. When summer heat wraps around us like a second skin, we crave lightness, not just in fabric, but in spirit. That's why the white linen shirt dress has remained an icon in every sophisticated wardrobe. It's not a trend piece. It's not trying to be anything other than itself. And isn't that the most elegant thing of all? This dress moves with grace. It gives your body room to breathe, to soften, to stand tall without stiffness. It holds structure where you want it, around the collar, along the shoulders, and lets go everywhere else. The result is a silhouette that's both refined and forgiving, tailored yet relaxed. And perhaps what makes it truly expensive in energy is its restraint. In a world filled with noise, prints, cutouts, and over-decoration, the white linen shirt dress whispers instead of screams. It leaves space for your jewelry to shine, for your personality to step forward, for your posture and presence to do the talking. This is not just a dress. It's a philosophy of ease, a reminder that when you feel cool and clear, you look that way too. Because elegance, at any age, starts with how we feel in our own skin and what we choose to wrap around it. Shall we see what comes next? The midi wrap dress with subtle print. There are dresses that follow the body, and then there are dresses that know how to dance with it. The wrap dress is the latter. It understands that bodies change, that curves shift, that comfort is non-negotiable. And rather than resist that truth, it leans into it, gently, generously, beautifully. There's a kind of quiet genius in a wrap silhouette. It doesn't command attention through excess. It earns admiration through intention. With every adjustable tie and overlapping fold, it says, "Let me meet you where you are. Not where you were 20 years ago, not where a size label says you should be. Right here, today." And when that wrap happens in a midi length, just grazing the calves, it adds a sense of sophistication that feels both grounded and feminine. It creates movement without being overly romantic, shape without being too sharp. And when that fabric carries a subtle print, it adds story without noise, softness without slipping into forgettable. This kind of dress doesn't just flatter, it forgives. It doesn't just hug, it honors. It allows you to step into a room with the kind of ease that only comes when you're not tugging, adjusting, second-guessing. It works with the rhythm of your life, be it lunch with friends, a garden walk, or that quiet moment when you catch your reflection and simply smile. Because when a dress fits not just your body, but your spirit, that's where style lives. It's not about hiding flaws, it's about choosing garments that know how to celebrate a life fully lived and still unfolding. Let's keep going. Something bold and timeless is next. The Monochrome Sleeveless A-line. There's something magnetic about restraint, about a garment that chooses simplicity not out of limitation, but out of confidence. That's the essence of the Monochrome A-line dress. It doesn't try to impress, it simply arrives. And when it arrives in a sleeveless silhouette that skims the body with quiet grace, it evokes a certain era. A time when women didn't need a dozen details to command a room. A time when Audrey, Grace, and Lena wore solid colors, clean lines, and just the right amount of poise. Minimalism isn't about being plain, it's about being precise. A monochrome dress in a rich summer hue can say more than any pattern ever could. It allows texture, shape, and movement to take center stage. It lets you shine, not in spite of its simplicity, but because of it. The sleeveless cut draws gentle attention to the arms and shoulders, and when paired with an A-line shape, it creates a beautiful balance between structure and softness. It doesn't cling, it glides. It suggests confidence without formality. You're not dressed up, you're simply well-dressed. And what makes this kind of dress feel expensive isn't embellishment, it's clarity. There's a refined certainty to it, a knowing. You don't need bells and whistles when you understand proportion, fit, and the elegance of standing still. In a world obsessed with doing more, adding more, this dress reminds us of the quiet thrill of taking something away, of allowing your essence to be enough. No print, no sparkle, no distraction, just you. Let's continue. What comes next is made for motion. The Flowy Boho Chic Maxi. There are dresses that walk, and then there are dresses that float. The Flowy Boho Chic Maxi isn't just a style, it's a feeling. It doesn't confine, it doesn't sculpt. It simply lets you be, in the most freeing, feminine way possible. This kind of dress doesn't ask your body to perform. It invites it to move naturally, gently, and with grace. There's something about its airy fabric, the way it catches the breeze, the way it drapes rather than clings, that allows for a sense of ease that's deeply personal. And in that ease, there's beauty, the kind that feels honest. The boho element adds a touch of whimsy, but not the kind you outgrow, rather the kind you come back to. The soft patterns, the earthy tones, the barely there details, they all speak of a woman who knows how to carry softness without ever seeming small. It's the art of being effortless, yet intentional. There's also something unapologetically romantic about a maxi. Not romance in the cliché sense, but romance as an attitude, a way of showing up in the world with openness, with a sense of wonder, with a willingness to take up space, but always gently. In a summer where days stretch long and golden, the flowy maxi becomes more than a garment. It becomes a companion, for strolls, for stillness, for sun-kissed moments that don't ask for anything more than your presence. It's not flashy, it's not sharp, it's not loud, and yet, somehow, it's unforgettable. Next, we shift gears. Something more tailored, more structured, yet still deeply feminine, is waiting. The tailored button front dress, khaki, olive. Structure doesn't have to mean severity, and tailoring, when done thoughtfully, doesn't need to sacrifice comfort. There's a beautiful intersection where precision meets softness, and the button front utility dress lives right there. It speaks a different language than the dresses we've explored so far. Less dreamy, more grounded. Less sway, more stance. But still, there's nothing rigid or masculine about it. In fact, when this dress is rendered in earth tones like khaki or olive, it draws its power not from ornamentation, but from clarity of shape. There's something so satisfying about the crisp line of a collar, the vertical suggestion of buttons, the defined waist. even when it's just a gentle cinch. It's the kind of piece that says, I'm here, I'm capable, and I haven't forgotten my softness. The tailored dress doesn't try to look young. That's its charm. It looks capable. It feels adult. It honors the body as it is, offering form without pressure, intention without pretense. It allows you to step into your day feeling composed, ready, and completely yourself. And there's something quietly expensive about utility-inspired design. Perhaps it's because it borrows from structure, but gives it back to you with grace. Perhaps it's because it reads as functional luxury, the kind that doesn't need logos or labels to command respect. It simply fits your life. This isn't the kind of dress you wear to be noticed. It's the kind you wear when you're already sure of who you are, and you've got things to do, places to be, moments to show up for. Now, let's slip into something deeper, something elegant, grounded, and undeniably bold. The all-black column dress. Black has always been a color of clarity. It doesn't distract, it doesn't apologize, and when worn well, it doesn't age. If anything, it matures, it deepens, and when shaped into a simple column silhouette, it becomes something far more powerful than a trend. It becomes a statement. An all-black dress doesn't need angles or embellishments. Its strength lies in its restraint. The straight, uninterrupted lines of a column cut offer quiet structure, a kind of self-assurance that doesn't need validation. It's not screaming for attention. It's saying, simply and confidently, I know who I am. This kind of dress can carry you anywhere. It anchors you, elongates you, dignifies you. There's an elegance to its neutrality, but also an edge, a bit of mystery, a bit of boldness. And perhaps that's what makes it so perfectly suited for women over 60. It reflects everything you've lived without having to explain any of it. When the fabric flows just enough, not tight, not too loose, it allows the body to move naturally while keeping the silhouette refined. The simplicity draws the eye upward, to your posture, your jewelry, your presence. It gives you space to express without overcompensating. And while black can sometimes be seen as severe, the truth is, it's as soft as you allow it to be. It's all in the pairing, the gesture, the way you carry it. Because black doesn't speak for you. It listens. And in that silence, it creates impact. It's not about drama. It's about depth. It's not about being seen. It's about being felt. Next, let's explore something sculpted, not by cut, but by color. The color block sleeveless dress. Color is a powerful communicator. It can soften, sharpen, illuminate, or disguise. And when it's arranged with intention, it becomes more than beautiful. It becomes sculptural. That's the quiet magic of the color block dress. Unlike prints, which often call for attention, color blocking calls for respect. It follows the body's lines, highlighting and redirecting the eye with grace. A well-placed panel can create shape where we want definition, and ease where we want comfort. It's not camouflage, it's design. And good design never ages. The sleeveless version adds a modern lightness. It reveals just enough to feel effortless, while keeping the overall look tailored and strong. And there's an architectural quality to the way blocks of color interact, whether in soothing neutrals or in harmonious contrasts. There's a dialogue happening in the dress itself, and you become the focal point of that conversation. There's also something deeply intelligent about color blocking. It assumes nothing, yet achieves everything. It doesn't depend on trends or embellishment. It relies on geometry, on line, on knowing how to work with the body rather than against it. It's functional artistry. For women over 60, this kind of dress sends a quiet message. You are allowed to be seen with intention, not in spite of your age, but because of it. You've earned the right to step into color that doesn't just flatter, but defines. It's not about boldness for boldness' sake. It's about thoughtful boldness, purposeful contrast, that rare moment when color doesn't decorate the body, it shapes it. And now, let's return to something familiar, but elevated, Everyday made elegant. The soft denim shirt dress. Denim has long been the symbol of the everyday, reliable, unfussy, practical. But when denim is softened, refined, and reimagined as a dress, it sheds its utility roots and steps into something entirely new. It becomes elevated. Not louder, just wiser. The denim shirt dress is not trying to be glamorous, and that's exactly why it's so chic. It's the kind of understated sophistication that doesn't rely on shine or structure. Instead, it leans on familiarity, but polishes it. It feels lived in, but not worn out. Comfortable, but not casual. The shirt dress silhouette offers gentle tailoring without ever feeling restrictive. Its button front detail adds a vertical line that elongates the body, while the denim itself carries just enough texture to feel substantial. And when the fabric is softened, washed, breathable, pliable, it becomes the perfect balance between structure and fluidity. For women who no longer dress to please trends, but to please themselves, this dress speaks a quiet truth. You don't have to give up comfort to feel styled, nor do you need to chase fashion to look current. You simply need pieces that understand the rhythm of your life, pieces that move when you move and rest when you do. There's also a quiet rebellion in wearing denim like this, a message that says, I'm still here and I'm still evolving. That comfort and class aren't mutually exclusive, that a life well lived can be wrapped in soft blue fabric and still look entirely intentional. Because denim doesn't need to shout to be heard. It just needs to be worn by a woman who knows herself. And next, we lean into color. Not just any color, but the one that's defining elegance in 2025. The light lavender shift dress. There are colors we wear because they're safe, and then there are colors we wear because they awaken something in us. Lavender is the latter. It's not a shout, it's not even a whisper. It's a sigh of softness, a breeze of grace, a reminder that elegance can have color without noise. Lavender holds a unique place in the color palette. It's neither pink nor blue, neither bold nor pale. It's the in-between, the thoughtful pause, the quiet statement. And in the form of a shift dress, it becomes the very definition of modern femininity. The shift silhouette has long been admired for its ease. It doesn't cling, it doesn't sculpt, it simply skims. And when rendered in lavender, it becomes more than a garment. It becomes an aura. It says, I've softened, but I haven't faded. I've simplified, but I haven't surrendered. This kind of dress works in every kind of light. Indoors, outdoors, day or evening. It flatters silver hair, sun-kissed skin, and every tone in between. But more than how it looks, it's how it makes you feel. Lighter, calmer, more aligned. Lavender doesn't try to be youthful. It doesn't chase trends. It belongs. It carries an inner glow, the kind that doesn't demand attention, but always earns admiration. And for a woman in her 60s or 70s, it offers an alternative to black and beige. It offers color with class, saturation with softness. To wear lavender is to say, I'm still full of light. To choose a shift silhouette is to say, I don't need a corset to feel confident. Together, they speak to a woman who knows her value isn't measured by flash, but by presence. And now, as we reach the final dress in this journey, we arrive at something quietly luminous, something that flows, layers, and glows. The tiered maxi dress with subtle sheen. Luxury isn't always loud. Sometimes it lives in the quiet shimmer of fabric catching late afternoon light. In the gentle sway of movement, not forced by cut, but encouraged by softness. The tiered maxi dress with a subtle sheen isn't showy, it's self-assured. It doesn't dazzle, it glows. Each layer of this dress isn't just a design element, it's a rhythm, a flow, a gentle suggestion that beauty doesn't have to be linear or smooth to be graceful. The tiers move independently, yet in harmony, just like the seasons of a woman's life. There's fullness, there's freedom, and there's space to simply exist without pressure. The sheen isn't sparkle. It's not sequins or shine. It's a whisper of light, a hint of something refined. It speaks of taste, not trend. And it elevates the entire silhouette, making it suitable for occasions that call for a bit more than casual, but far less than formal. That delicate balance, that perfect middle, this dress lives there. It's the kind of piece you reach for when you want to feel dressed without being dressed up. When you want to feel feminine, but not frilly. When you want your clothes to echo your energy, measured, magnetic, and unapologetically real. And there's something poetic about ending this list here. Because after exploring structure, softness, bold color, and intelligent cuts, we land on a dress that simply allows you to shine as you are. Not polished to perfection, not styled to impress, just illuminated from within. As with all true elegance, this dress doesn't announce itself. It lets you do the talking, and it follows your lead every step of the way. Now, let's bring it all together. Somewhere along the way, fashion told us that we needed to keep up, to look younger, thinner, trendier, that in order to be seen, we had to compete. But the truth, the liberating, beautiful truth, is that real style begins when that pressure ends. Because you're not dressing to impress anymore. You're dressing to express, to reflect who you are now, not who you used to be, or who someone else thinks you should be. And that expression doesn't need to shout. It just needs to be honest. These 10 dresses weren't just chosen because they're beautiful. They were chosen because they carry stories, shapes that flatter without fuss, colors that lift without overwhelming, fabrics that move with you, not against you. Pieces that don't ask you to become someone else, but remind you of who you've always been. You don't need a limitless budget to look expensive. You don't need the approval of fashion editors or fleeting trends. What you need is discernment, confidence, and the joy of dressing like the woman you've worked so hard to become. Let elegance be your comfort. Let grace be your signature. Let your wardrobe say, gently and clearly, I know myself, and I honor her every day. And if any of these dresses felt like they were made just for you, I hope you give them a place in your story. If this video spoke to you, I'd love for you to like, subscribe, and share it with another beautiful soul who deserves to feel radiant. And in the comments, tell me, which dress felt most like you? I can't wait to hear. Until next time, stay true, stay timeless, and above all, stay you.